Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the match preview. Everton versus Manchester City in the quarter-final of the FA Cup at Goodison Park. Oh, so excited for this one, Baz. Just one step away from Wembley.
One step away from an empty Wembley.
2 steps away from a cup
away
final.
From a partially full. Final, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a very difficult ask, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be. Sitting here now, I can't say with any confidence that I can see Everton winning this game. And that might sound negative to people, and some people will take offence to that because they take offence to a lot of things. But I just can't. I watch football, I watch a lot of football. I watched Manchester City this week against Mönchengladbach in the Champions League. They're 14 points clear in the Premier League. They've had 25 clean sheets this season, which I think doesn't get spoken enough about how good a job defensively they've done. So when you look at it like that, Everton have just lost at home to Burnley, who City comfortably beat. Yeah. So when you look at it like that, you kind of go, yeah, no chance. But the caveat to that is it's the FA Cup and things happen. You know, we've seen Man City. I saw Man City dominate Arsenal in an FA Cup semi-final last season, battered them at Wembley, and they got beat 2-0 because on the day Arsenal took their chances, defended brilliantly, and City had one of those days where, you know, you score because you haven't scored for a bit and back heeling it when they should have been. Very Arsenal-like towards the end of the Wenger era. So Arsenal got lucky that day. For Everton to win, they would need to be the same, I think. I think they'd have to be off form.
I've worked out Manchester City's Achilles heel. I know how to beat them.
Go on then.
What are Manchester City not that good at? Penalties. They're not good at penalties, are they? They're not good at penalties. So let's get them to a penalty shootout at Goodison Park, and I think we've got a chance.
Very Jose Mourinho.
I think we've got a chance. I think that's the game plan for me. Get them to survive 120 minutes
of domination. Yeah.
Of not conceding and get them to pens, and I think that's where we become the favourites in this game.
I still wouldn't say favourites, but
that's the man game.
I think we saw in the league game the other week. Everton had a game plan, and for an hour at 1-1, it was working, wasn't it? You know, they had. Don't forget, coming into that, they hadn't conceded for 9 games, and Everton scored. So
you want another big piece of good news for this game?
Go on.
You can have 5 subs.
Yeah.
That means they can have an extra 5 first teamers coming into the game, and we can have
kids
in Kunku.
Kids. I guess though,
how many goalies do you think we'll have on the bench for this game?
Probably only one, unless Olsen gets fit, because obviously we're running out of them, aren't we? Listen, it's a game of football, and every time you take the pitch, it's an opportunity to beat your opponent. City are brilliant. They're one of the best Premier League teams we've ever seen. They were poor last season. They've recovered fantastically well this season. Diaz has come in and has made them incredible. Look, they've got Laporte. John Stones has been brilliant for them this season, really has.
Do you think they'll play their strongest side because they're going into an international break and there's an opportunity for someone else's problem, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Or do you think they've played in Europe this week? Okay, wasn't much of a stretch for them, but with the travelling and stuff, and do you think they'll have a slightly weakened side? I'm looking for positives, Baz. Come on.
Possibly. I mean, they'll probably have to play like Aguero. You know, he only come on for 20 minutes last night.
He scored a penalty the other day as well.
I imagine there'll be changes, but the problem is Man City's changes are still brilliant, so it's going to be difficult. I think Raheem Sterling was only sub in Mönchengladbach, so he'll play. So listen, I don't look at it like that. Whoever they put out it's about Everton.
I think if we are talking about how we would beat them, we've got to get off to a fast start. I think Manchester United showed that. And listen, Manchester United are a better team than us, but Manchester United showed that. They went after them straight away. They got the early goal with the penalty, and then they soaked up the pressure and of course you've got to ride. Listen, to beat Man City, you've got to ride your luck. Of course you have. Yeah. But if we could do that, if we could get a goal and then start frustrating them by getting men behind the ball, that's got to be the best game plan, surely, because they listen, when we play, for me the biggest problem is for this game, amongst a lot of problems, is if you play Manchester City, you want to be at your best, you want to be at your strongest, and Everton clearly aren't at their best and clearly aren't at their strongest.
No.
Jordan Pickford's out straight away, you know, your number one goalkeeper, and then you've got the likes of the Corey out, the likes
number
of
one midfielder.
yeah, James Rodriguez, the number one
probably
creative player. So there's 3 parts straight away of your team, and then you look at the bench and you know that you're going to need to freshen it up, because the way Man City work the ball, it's going to tire you out as well. So that's a thing as well. Who do you bring on in midfield to freshen up, or even in defence? So it's going to be, without making excuses, because I don't think they are excuses, they're factual things. You need to beat Manchester City. You need to do those things. But if you're going to win the cup, you've got to beat a team like Manchester City. I mean, you've got to. And I would rather play Manchester City at Goodison Park than at Wembley.
Yeah.
Any day of the week.
Yeah.
I'd rather play Goodison Park, where at least we feel a little bit of comfort. Changes are nice. Nice.
Do we feel comfort at
That's what I'm saying, the changes
are
nice
and warm. Better playing them at the Etihad, to be honest.
But I'd rather play them at Wembley in a semi-final. And you've got to have that bit of luck, and I think you've got to have that bit of luck to beat Manchester City anyway. So this is a free hit. This is the definition of a free hit, because nobody expects us to win. Everyone expects just Man City to roll us over and move on to the semi-finals and go and win every trophy known to man. And we have to use that to our advantage and hopefully just frustrate them and use what we've got, which is Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Charlison, and hope that the luck falls our way.
Yeah, we've got to break the game up as much as we can, slow it down as much as we can, and try to frustrate them. The biggest thing you can't let them do is get into a rhythm of playing, because once they get into the patterns of play, they're very difficult to stop. But like I said, we kind of done it in the league game at home. We got to 60, 65 minutes and then Mara scored a fantastic goal.
Don't take Tom Davies off.
No. And that put them back in front, and after that we threw caution to the wind, and they scored again, didn't they? And it was done. So it will take that. You've got to concentrate. You've got to be at your very best. I think Yerry Mina will come back into the side at the weekend, and obviously in the league game he only lasted 10, 15 minutes in that and went off. But I think he'll come back in. I would be tempted, as I've probably said a million times before, to put one of Holgate or Godfrey in midfield for this one, because it is a lot of running. It's a mobility is what you need. And Everton, a midfield of Allen, Davies and Gomez against these is asking for trouble, because you need mobility in there. The other Allen and Davies will work hard for you, no problem with that. Gomez hasn't got the legs, although he does take care of the ball better than the other two probably.
Do you think for a game like this though, the diamond could actually work? It's making City go, City are quite narrow, aren't they? People like Mahrez wants to come inside on his left foot.
He does. They don't really get runners.
The full-backs go, obviously, go on the outside.
Zinchenko, he does go on the outside. I don't know. I mean, me personally, I'd almost play 7-0-3 and just try to miss the midfield out. It's not the football I want to see long term.
Oh, we'll be going long anyway.
But just bang it long to Dom and get runners.
All game.
Get runners. Let's see how good Stones is against them, or let's see how good Diaz or Laporte. Laporte is brilliant in here.
If we try,
can't out-football them, can we?
But if we try and play the ball out from the back against these, you're dead. You're a dead man walking, because they'll just push up.
They've got so much energy.
Well, they're just brilliant at pressing. They'll just push up.
The brilliant energy. They know every bit of the pitch. It's broken down into friggin'.
So our job is simply to go long, and I'm not asked. You go long, you use Dom, and then you try and get Richarlison off him. Certainly because Hammers is not available, depends where Gylfi is, whether they go, well, if Gylfi's fit, they might play him at the top of the diamond, and he tries to get hold of the knockdowns and tries to get between the lines. And then, you're looking for Richarlison to make those runs, aren't you? But I would bypass the midfield all day with this because actually I think the midfield's going to need its energy to defend rather than
no, well, that's what I'm saying.
To be offensive.
So you can almost. It's not what Everton should be doing. Spent the money.
I think that's where
we are where we are. We haven't got. You just mentioned there three players who would be in everybody's fit. Not everybody, but being the majority of Evertonians starting 11 when fit. 4. Pickford would be probably most Evertonians' pick over Robin Olsen. And don't forget Olsen is fighting to be fit anyway. The core 8 being every Evertonian's team. James Rodriguez would be in every Evertonian's team. And so going through a midfield like that, and that's where you kind of need it.
I think that if you maybe what you could look at doing is let the midfield stay really narrow and just try and block the gaps. That's going to take a lot of effort, of course.
Keane and Mina as your 2 centre-backs?
Yeah, with Godfrey right back.
See, I was thinking Godfrey in midfield.
Well, no, I know you think that.
No, but you know why? But I'll tell you why. And especially if we were going to try to play a flat 3 in front of the back 4 to block the passing lanes off. Yeah. Because he's actually one who could break.
Would you know?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's one who's got legs to break forward. So if we did go long to Dom and we needed to get people up there, he's one who's actually got speed.
I do think that he might I think he might bring Seamus Coleman in actually though. I think he might approach it like the derby and say, you're going to have the ball. Okay. This is an away game.
Like 4.
This is an away game, right? They're going to have the ball. They're going to have the ball. They're going to have the ball anyway.
Yeah.
And say, you do a job on, say, whoever, Sterling or whoever, you do that job. It's difficult with City because you're not always sure.
Play,
and then
Foden, if he's there, maybe. He's brilliant.
It's hard, isn't it?
De Bruyne. I mean, you go through the team and it's a joy to watch, but they do lose every now and again. So, you know, I watched the derby the other week with United and expected them to roll them over, and
that's what United
got the goal and hung on brilliantly and then broke on
what we were saying there. That's what United did though. United went long. Okay, it's a different kind of long because they more get out wide, but that's what they did. They allowed their midfield to sit, and then said we'll break us down, and the wide men got in and they took in, and it was very compact, and they got the goals at the right time.
For every Evertonian, I'm sure, would take us playing long direct football on Saturday night, winning 1-0 or 2-1 and getting into the FA Cup semi-final.
No one cares.
Wouldn't he? We're not in the stadium, are we?
No one cares how we play. I've watched. We've said 38% possession is our sweet spot. We might even, we probably will have less than that.
We've lost 6 out of 7 games when we've had more than 60%.
We had over 60% last Saturday and we got beat. Possession is the enemy. Whenever I've said this a million times, I might get it on a t-shirt.
We've adopted Claudio Ranieri's Leicester tactics.
Possession is the enemy because we're not good enough.
We've adopted those tactics.
And they will actually start more attacks from our possession, then we'll start attacks from our possession.
Probably, yeah.
That's a fact. Yeah. That's a fact.
Leicester, what was it, 28% or 24% was they won the league.
So if you're gonna lose the ball, lose it on the edge of their box after you've gone long and Dom's flicked one on, right?
See, I just think if you, I know it's very basic, and but if you sat 3 lads in front of the back 4, almost. And you're making them passing lanes difficult to play through, because Burnley did it to us at the weekend. We're not City's level, of course, we're not. But it shows you when you compact how difficult it can be just to pass through, just because there's people everywhere. Yeah. So your movement might be better, but if you do that, and then your out ball is you're banging it to Dom, and you've got people running either side of him, then one flick and he's in, he might get someone.
But the derby proved it, and I'm not saying Liverpool anywhere near what City are, but Liverpool had a lot of possession that day, and all we did was shut off the passing lanes, made it difficult for them. Now City are better, and then hit them on the counters. Now again, it come down to the fact that we scored early, and they had a little bit more desperation, and we got the penalty at the right time. But that's how I would set out to play this week. I mean, obviously you need someone maybe in that number 10 role, and I know it's different in the derby because we only had one striker on the pitch, and it was a little bit different, but that's the mindset, and I'm not arsed that it's at home, because that's irrelevant, because Man City make every game their game of keep ball, and you have to just be disciplined everyone has to stay switched on. This is the problem with the subs, obviously, because once you start making subs in it, lessens the team. You know, that's why when you watch Carlo, why he is so reluctant to make subs. He doesn't like making subs because it does, especially away games, because it does take away from the game plan. So, listen, we don't have to tell anyone out there it's going to be really, really difficult, but there's a chance, and that chance is called penalties. So
I think I've seen it before. I know we've had big games before at this stage, and we've won when people didn't think we would, and we've won games where we've had to ride our luck, and we've lost games where Everton were the clear favourites. And I know it's when we've never been at City's level in terms of what they do with the ball, but there's cup upsets all the time.
Yeah.
You know, that Man City were involved in probably the biggest for 30, 40 years when Wigan beat them. When the biggest mismatch of quality was Wigan got relegated and beat them in an FA Cup final because Joe Robles for Wigan that day made about 8 world-class saves. City could have won that 8-0 easily. I know McManaman missed a good chance early on, but they could have easily been beaten 8 that day, Wigan, and the young on there got a set play and they win it through a Ben Watson header, and that's it, the last seconds of the game. So we've seen it before. We've been on the end of teams beating us. In fact, that season Wigan come and beat us 3-0 at home when everyone was saying, be a cricket score. So these cup things have happened before, but it'd be Everton are the clear underdogs, there's no question about it. But when you've got a striker that's got 19 goals and another forward that's got 11, and you've got the quality of Luca Dean with that left foot, you've got a chance. And Everton's, let's have it right, normally Everton's biggest strength this season has been their ability to defend when under pressure. That's how we will do it. We'll need a lot of luck, you said it before.
And don't do anything stupid.
Nothing stupid. And then hopefully off a set play, maybe we might be able to, if we can get a corner, put them under pressure with the likes of Mina and Keane in the side maybe. But it is going to be very difficult.
We'll see what happens. It's going to be an interesting one. Let us know your thoughts in the comments on this one. Do you give us any chance? And if you do, what is that chance? Where's it coming from? Are you going for pens like me? Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments. Give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't already. If you want more great videos, exclusive videos out early, daily live videos, join us over on Patreon. The link is in the description and it's on the screen right now. See you later.